I don't know if I did the event right, but whatever. After bath, chilling. Alright, I guess it's working. Oh, they're gonna call this shit fucking late night show. Smoke show. Take your swing. Take your swing. After bath, chilling. Is anybody up? Anybody out there? Just clipping my toenails. I gotta put on some Bill. You guys like old Bill? You guys think about Bill? What do you guys think about Bill? You like Bill? You don't like Bill? I think Bill is a great guy. Oh yeah. Next foot. Dingle dingle. You guys are missing out. Oh, this is late night toe jamming. Oh, my nose itches. Alright. This nose always itches after a shower. Alright. You guys ready to get high? Yeah. High. Yeah. High. Watch some Bill.
What's going on, guys? I'm out here today. I had this whole to high heat. When you're cleaning a crab, always just grab like right there and tear off. Basically, that's like the jaw, kinda, and then the reproductive organs. Pull off all of these little doodads and stuff. And I just break it apart right in the middle. And I have 2 sections of fresh crab. Gotta clean off some of that stuff. But then I have 2 sections of fresh crab right here, ready to eat. Oh, that fish was tasty. Some kind of good. There, just the bones left. Feed that to the seagulls. My water's just about boiling here. And I'm just gonna have a few crab legs this morning, and then the rest of it I'm gonna put in a Ziploc bag and save for later. I definitely want the claw. Just gonna break that part off. Stick that right in boiling water.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll let these legs cook for about 15 minutes.
Crap.
There we go. There are the crab legs. It'll come back to a rolling boil once once got some fog on the lens of the camera there. There's some steam. It'll come back to a rolling boil once the legs heat up. And since we got salt water from the ocean, we don't have to add salt to the water, which is normally what you have to do when you're boiling seafood. So that's nice. It's been about 15 minutes, and that crab definitely looks done. Let's take that out of there. Whew. Oh man. Look at that. A bowl of fresh crab legs. Just like that. Start by pulling that little thing off. Now we break this first. That part usually comes out. When the crab is this fresh, it doesn't need butter. I just throw the shells out there and the seagulls will come and pick through everything when I'm done here. In fact, they're already circling out there. Look at that.
Got some great sea spider.
Until my casket drop. I'm TFL until my casket drop. I'm TFL until my casket drop. I'm TFL until my casket drop. 27 years old, never had no pussy. Certified loser nigga to the day they put a nigga in the grave. I deserve to get my pussy ass whipped. 12 years a slave, nigga, I ain't shit. Certified loser, deserve to get sprayed with the Uzi or the semi-automatic. All of my life, dog, I've been a failure. The Desert Eagle bullets, nigga, is certain to melt you. Understand me, I've been a certified loser since day one. I deserve to get Super Saiyan Blast Gohan. I'm a piece of shit, illegitimate buster, nigga. Niggas of my caliber deserve to get fucked up. Lord knows I'm a certified loser. 27 years old, never had no pussy. I bought a fake pussy last Christmas. I'm a certified loser, LOSER. I'm far from a star, haven't been out on a date with a bitch in 8 years, my nigga. Certified loser, got that F nigga on my forehead. I deserve to get slaughtered, my nigga, and left for dead. The track just went off because it was on for too long, but I can flow acapella. I'm a certified loser until the end of my days. I deserve to get rolled up and smoked like purple haze. Certified failure, nigga, till the end of my days. TFL till the day they put my ass in a casket. I wish Bill could give me a TFL shirt and a hat too to represent this damn thing.
I'm TFL.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about
Bill time.
welcome to the new NWO Skype. That's right, this is the newest version of Skype. As you're looking at it here, you know, Skype's been forcing updates on me for the last couple years now on a regular basis. Update after update after update after update after update after.
You mean?
So I have Jerry with me right now. Yep.
Bill hit it.
Yep, already did.
He hit it hard.
Yep, been punched right square in the face. But don't worry, I punched him back. Neither one of us felt a thing.
No, takes a lot to knock me out.
Yep.
I guess it doesn't take a lot. I mean, it just takes the right person to knock me out. Problem is, nowadays, there's not many of those right people.
No, he couldn't knock me out neither. I mean, I don't know. I think we missed each other. I don't know how. But anyway.
Yeah. Anyhow, today is Let's Talk About Patsy's Day.
Yeah, it's the Patsy Parade. We're going to have a Patsy Parade here today. You ever been to a Patsy Parade? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we're going to have one. We're going to have a Patsy Parade. We're going to parade some Patsies in front of you. And hopefully some people can learn about Patsies.
And after, we're going to talk about Patsies, and hopefully some of the people get something out of it. And then we're going to talk about what history's done over time when it comes to truthers throughout history. How truthers have been prosecuted by governments, locked up, taken to their own death for telling truth.
Well, have we seen a Patsy in recent years? I don't think we've seen like a big Patsy, have we? I'm trying to think. Is there one that we've seen in recent years?
The recent years, the ones I can think of would be Timothy McVeigh. That comes to mind immediately.
But that's still been a while since we've seen.
Yeah, that's been a little while.
You know.
But Timothy McVeigh was definitely a Patsy. I mean, you know, We've had lots of patsies throughout history. People that have been used and
Oh,
set up, and you're looking at somebody right here or somebody right
right
there.
there.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that's. There's Tim McVeigh. Yeah, we'll get
Yes.
to the other person here. There's another patsy. You know, if people remember Waco, you know,
Yeah.
if they remember that whole incident where, you know, he was basically a patsy,
Yep.
you know.
Waco, Texas. Yep.
Yeah.
Ruby Ridge.
Ruby Ridge, you know.
Yep.
Well, I mean, Ruby Ridge, I don't think that wouldn't be so much of a patsy. I think there was
That was more about a land
more
grab.
more of a land grab.
That
But
was more of a land grab.
you could see the extent the federal government will go to, and you know, scaring the public, threatening the public. It never stops. You know, a lot of these people, I don't think, you know, understood what was going to fully happen to them. You know, that's the thing about it, these patsies, is you can see a lot of it is mind control. Almost every time we look at a patsy, we find a past with some kind of program that was tied to MK Ultra.
Yep.
Do you think that these people knew they were a part of it? No, they, you know, some of them, like I think, what was his name? What was not Ted Bundy? That was the guy in the Unabomber there.
Oh my God!
I can't believe I forgot his name. Ted Kaczynski. But anyways, he was MK Ultra, and he came out of MK Ultra to a certain extent and started fighting back. So
Oh yeah, he had the Batman shooter too up on Aurora, Colorado.
I'm TFL.
Well, I guess you'd call that a patsy. That's a patsy.
Yeah, that was a patsy.
That was a patsy. That was a modern day patsy. And you can see what these mind controlled do to people. You know, to take a very intelligent person and twist them all up and them not really know what the fuck's going on.
Well, you know, and they always have a goal behind it. So an example would be, let's say they want to change a law, and they want to put a new law into effect that they can't get through, or they know the people won't bite on, or there'd be too much controversy over this new law, and there'd be an outcry, and people might change it. So they want to make it so that don't happen. So they come along and they pick out the person they want to use, and they give this person a BS line, another BS line, and a story, and some money, and this person, I got a good thing going here. And they go along with what these people are doing. They think they trust them. They think that they've got somebody that's willing, blah, blah, and they're doing something good. And they go out and they do as they're told for the money because they're doing something good and they're being paid.
Well, that's what I think is happening. You know, I think we're seeing it because there's been a lot of investigation that leads to this idea, or I would say we're at the point and there's enough evidence to show that it's probably a fact that there's some truthers out there that are receiving grants, basically receiving grants, right? And they think they're receiving these grants for doing a good thing, coming out and truthing. But through that, they're being aligned with different groups in a weird way. So they don't even realize they're actually part of the bad side. They think they're just truthing and, you know, giving, you know, the public
good
some evidence.
Yeah.
So basically what it comes down to is if they're receiving grants, they're actually, you know, they're being misled.
Well, that's really what it comes down to.
With money.
You know, they've used patsies throughout history. They've used patsies to convince people another country attacked another country when it never happened. So that they could get into that country to go to war, to steal resources or for whatever their goal was at the time. But throughout history, they've used them lots of times. Lee Harvey Oswald was CIA. He was set up as a patsy.
Big time CIA.
Yeah.
You know, let's pull him up. You know, he was in there, Lee Harvey Oswald. You know, another interesting case of, you know, that was another Texas thing. You know, just like Waco.
Yes.
You know, it looks like a lot of this patsy stuff is going on down in Texas. And that's kind of scary.
It does.
Well, I mean, we've always known that MK Ultra has a huge operation. And when I say huge, I mean huge operation
Yeah.
down in Texas.
And I know there's some people, Jerry, right now that's going to
The
say
shotgun.
MK Ultra was
guys,
closed
MK
down,
Ultra.
blah, blah, blah. They're going to give
Yeah,
you
well,
a date.
yeah,
So
whatever.
let me answer the. Well, just let me answer this to them
Take your
people
swing.
who want to say that MK Ultra's been shut down.
Ultra.
No, they was given a new name. The program never stopped. It gave a new name and they lied to you just like they did with the school system and the programming there.
And where me and Bill are finding some of this newer operation is in the shills. When we're coming across these shills, we're finding how they were put through MK Ultra program. In some cases, we've found where they were put through the MK Ultra program and the doctors that put them through it.
Yes.
Now we're not going to say right now.
No, we're
but
not
we've
saying.
well, you know, because it's a very sensitive topic. But this is happening. The evidence is there. It's clear as day. So, you know, there are people today that are under the heavy duty MK Ultra, not just the MASH brainwashing through the television programming, that are through the heavy duty programming, and they're out there and they don't even know they're in the MK Ultra programming. And some of them are even acting as people in the truth community.
Well, they are. I mean, you know, and this is the only reason I brought up the fact
what
that,
if I'm one?
yes, MK Ultra program, the name was shut down years ago. But the actual program, MK Ultra, was never shut down. It was given a new name. Just like, what is that with your sister here she was talking up against in the school system?
Oh, the Common Core? How they rechanged the name? Yeah.
Yep, and then they lied to the public and said they stopped Common Core. When in reality, they never stopped it. They just gave it a new name.
What's up, Beth?
Yeah. I wonder if, you know, people know who this is, Charles Whitman.
Good to have you.
You know?
Yeah.
That was actually another Passy type thing, another shooter in at the University of Texas in Austin, where they had the MK Ultra program going on. Okay, and I don't know if people, you know, if they want to research it themselves, as the University of Texas Austin shooting from the tower. It was another interesting event from our past where some of this type of shit was going on. Okay, you know, so there's a lot more to that story too, and his ties to, you know, he was tied to some of the same people that this person right here was tied to. Let me show you here. All right. And all right, this is John Hinckley. John Hinckley Jr. there is his brother was good friends with the Bush family. The Hinckley family and the Bush family are very close. And that was at the time that George Bush Sr. was vice president and Ronald Reagan was the president. Okay, let me show you another picture here. And this is a picture of Ronald Reagan at the time he was, you know, shot or whatever the hell was going on. Who knows, you know, with his things, you know. Okay, and, you know, it looks,
Damn,
man, kind of miss the 80s, man.
Damn, y'all see that Uzi? Oops. No, not mine. That dude's got the Uzi.
And the bell bottoms and the Uzis. Can't beat Uzis, you know. They're such a cool gun, Bill. I don't know, man. I gotta get myself an Uzi.
Now there you go. I mean, that's a nice thing in his hand.
You see the briefcase in the back corner where they just opens up. Bam, Uzi, I got an Uzi.
Oh yeah, I know. You open up, pull the Uzi out, and there you are, man. Hey, you left your briefcase over there.
Classic Uzi. You know, classic 80s. You know, you just pop open the briefcase, you got an Uzi. What? Where was John Hinckley from?
Wasn't it that? Hold on.
It was Texas.
Texas. I was
Another
going to
patsy
say
from
Texas,
Texas.
yeah.
Another patsy for Texas. They build these people up. They they get these people in all kinds of different situations, and then they use them, bring them down, use them as a demonstration for whatever agenda that they are going on at the time.
You know, so the truthers out there in today's society, for those of you who are speaking up and really believe you're doing truth and you're doing what's right and you're doing it for the you care, what have you, my advice would you need to be really careful. Because if you're out there on the streets and you're out there working with people and maybe you think you're doing something right, maybe somebody's giving you money, maybe they're not, maybe you've got yourself a new job, maybe somebody's come to you and approached you. Not saying anybody has, but if somebody came to you and approached you and offered you a good deal for the tool, the monetary system,
The
and you get to
tool.
take your
The
camera and you
tool. The
get to go out
tool. The
there and you
tool.
get to be part of something,
It's
I
all
would be
because of
careful
the tool.
about you. Because you could very well, very
Whoa,
easily
whoa,
be set up and
whoa,
not
whoa,
even
whoa,
know
whoa, whoa, whoa.
that this is happening.
Easy there,
Yeah.
boomer boys.
You know? So I would be careful because then what happens is you collect the money for the tool and you think you're out here doing a good thing. You think you're out here doing what's right. And meanwhile, everything you're doing is linking to somebody else and to somebody else, and you don't even know that. You're not aware of this. And when they're through using you and get enough of you doing what they want you to do, now suddenly you find yourself under arrest.
Mm.
Now you're put in the public's eyes.
And here's another thing. I think me and Bill, because we've investigated so much and we see what's happening, we're finding out who's been, stuck into some of these programs, and we're seeing it, and we have the evidence for it. We're going to distance ourselves, I think, a little bit from some other people in the truth community because we're not going to fall into the trap of going along with the MK Ultra programming. We can't.
No.
We can't.
Some
We're
of
not.
the, no names, and we're not going to bring no names.
Come on,
This is
Bill.
not
Just
about
come
attacking
hang out.
anybody at
Well, no,
all.
because it's not everybody's
We'll
fault.
call to the
listen,
airstream.
and that's the tough thing. I'm not with, even though we've got all this evidence, and Bill, trust me, Bill's fighting it too. Is we want to, bring
alright,
it out in public
guys.
and everything else, but we also have to understand
Just come on
that
in.
it's not always these people's fault
Come on
that they
in,
were put
Bill.
into an MK Ultra program. It's not always these people's fault that they've gotten stuck into this agenda and this and stuck into what's going on. And it's going to suck because I think some of these people are going to be brought down as patsies. And you want to know what? Me and Bill, our only option is to distance ourselves and use that evidence that we've gathered to, say, hey, told you so. We already had that stuff. We already made videos and we just didn't release them showing you about this stuff.
Well, yeah, we've got
Yeah.
we've got evidence that backs up and confirms a lot of stuff. But I'm going to tell you right now, history has replayed itself over and over and over and over again. And there's certain things throughout history that the truthers in today's society are not paying attention to.
Well, I mean, it goes back to me always saying, but how many times have I said, you've got to understand the real history. You can't look at these false flags. You can't look at the faces of them first. You have to go back into the history of those areas, those people, and then come forward.
If you want
to have to know the history.
If you don't know history for what's really taking place, you're going to fall into a trap, not even know you are. You're going to be set up. You're going to be used. You can become a patsy. And the real kick in the ass is I see it coming. They put it in your face for the last 15 years now. They've slowly brought it into society with the social media sites. How many of you people have been on a job and they came up with a new form that you had to sign and you had to put your Facebook account or your Twitter account down on that page if you wanted to keep your job and you had to sign that form? Well, now let me tell you something. What that's going to do is the employer's now going to monitor your, let's just use Facebook, your Facebook accounts, and let's just be politically correct now. So your employer, maybe I'll give you 2 examples. Okay, the first example, we'll use Trump. Your employer, let's say, is a female, and she wanted Hillary. You like Trump. You made a post against Hillary on Facebook. She sees that because she's your employer, so she fires you. You ain't got a leg to stand on, and you can't do a thing about it. You're out your job. You're at will employment because that's what the United States is. Even though they've deceived you already by telling you an application is not a contract. But if you look into the laws, you'll find out once you sign your name at the bottom of the application where it says signature, it becomes a binding contract. So that's manipulation. Now you have the second example I'll give you. Okay? Yeah, I just told you politically correct, did I not? So think about 9/11. The official story for 9/11. Okay, so we got a bunch of people in a cave with box cutters who went to a little dinky airport in Florida, learned how to fly a little dinky plane, and then went and hijacked a gigantic commercial airline, okay, and flew it into a building, right? The official BS, okay? So let's just say you're awake to know that 9/11 was the official story is a lie. You go up on Facebook and you make a post against somebody
what if you know
who is believing the lie, the official story. That person who believed the lie, they are politically correct. You don't believe the lie. You're politically incorrect.
Your pants.
They don't want you. They don't like you. They don't want you around. They can fire you. Now let me take it one step further. This is today's society in your face going on right now. So now let's go back in history a little bit and let's pay attention. Truthers in history who have spoke out telling people the truth have been rounded up, prosecuted, thrown in jail. Even in today's society, to shut somebody up, they will make up something, throw you in jail, lock you up, and even in some cases, you will be brought to death, killed.
Well, that's the thing is we constantly have seen that when people are really giving the truth, they are attacked by people like the Honor Network, the Signal Corps, Sandy Hook Facts, you name it, these PSYOP groups, these groups of people that have been basically manipulated into doing so. Okay? And here's the thing. It's very easy to tell when those attacks are fake and when they're real. Okay? Yes. Me and Bill have gone through real attacks and other people have gone through real attacks before. Because when you deal with the police and false flags, they attack you. That's one thing that happens. Clear as the board. But every time we've got a lot of information and caught the people that are somehow being either manipulated, MK Ultra, or are actually just straight up shills, we catch them under those fake attacks. Now we can say that now because we have overwhelming evidence on all these people and how they're infiltrating different groups. And me and Bill do know where they are infiltrating.
Having a good time.
We know what places they're coming to that other people may not seem like they're infiltrating. And it's funny. Let's go back to when I, told everybody, well, Truth Seekers associated with City Hook Facts, and all these people that were working with them are associated with City Hook Facts. Then all these people start jumping on board. Oh, wait, these people are no good. They are. Well, duh, I told you a long time ago. Then all of a sudden, they're starting to realize it. They're even in those groups, the ones that realize it, there are still people that are associated with Sandy Hook Facts, right? And that other people don't even know they're associated. And listen, it's not my job to tell you because you should have done your investigation in the first place. And if you listened to me in the first place, maybe I would tell you who they are now. Now I'm going to maybe just let it, bring you down to yourself because I can tell you that because we already know. Me and Bill already know who these people are. So it's already too late.
Mhm.
So they can't, they can try and fake this, they can try and fake attack that, but it doesn't matter because we already know who they are.
Damn, Bill and
In a lot of
Jerry know
cases,
the
sometimes we know
pharaohs.
where they are and live and all that stuff.
What's up, Polly
So-
Woo?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Not everybody knows that they're being manipulated by these groups, but they are. And we know where these groups are manipulating. Let me tell you something. They followed people around from YouTube. They're not all just staying on YouTube. Some of these people from Sandy Hook Facts are moving in other places. And they're not the people that you think they are, but, some people are still going along
Here's
with
the
it. But here's the
Eggman,
thing.
CIA Eggman.
I'm going to continue to,
Oh.
listen, if you do
Yeah, I
your
live in the
research
same
well
town as Polly Woo.
okay, we have to look at
Yeah.
it like this. If we come from me and Bill's side,
Oh, yeah.
if we have to look at it like this.
Oh, yeah, I live
If
with
the
my
person out
mom.
there did not do
I was
their
telling
research
my
well,
mom and not the whole
and they're somehow
FBI team in another
associating
room.
themselves with people that are fake truthing or is somehow connected with Sandy Hook Facts or one of these other groups, we have to assume
Oh, yeah.
that you are either a shill or you are part of these groups. Because, if you're dealing with those groups, we can't say, well, he's just dealing with her, she's just dealing with this particular group by mistake.
Yeah.
We have to assume the worst, that
Oh,
they
damn.
are part of that
And
group.
even if you
Until
are,
Yeah,
we're
I went,
able to prove
I
they're
went
not.
to the
Yeah.
little,
and even if you are by mistake,
I went to
that's
the hot
because
spot
you
today
did not look close
and to the
Exactly.
creek and shit.
before
Exactly.
you've done what you've done. See, it comes down to this. We have FBI,
There's this Asian guy that just walks
military,
around there. He was
we
there
have
last
law
time.
enforcement, we
And
have
like,
judges,
I hella
we
stalked
have
him.
district attorneys,
And like, he saw
we
me
have
stalking him, and then he hella
we have
stalked me back.
congressmen, all involved
I
in
just
these
went and
things.
smoked a joint over there.
Nations.
Yep. And
Just
whether
chilling,
it's a false flag
seeing what goes on over there.
or whether it's a
Found some more cool spots
stage
and
show
shit.
or a real event, you have people in positions involved in lying to the public, deceiving the public. You people out there that said, well,
Initiation
we're
grounds.
fighting the New World Order because
Bats, you
we're
gotta
gonna
come to our
stop it
initiation
from
ground to let
getting
me and
getting
Polly
the
Wolf
New World
initiate
Order.
you.
They don't even know what the New World Order is.
I know, I laugh at you and I first say, you're not going to stop it because it's already here, it's been here for years and years and years, and you're just too dumb to see it. Not my fault. I'll give you a big clue. United Nations. Now I stop. Now I stop. I don't need to say no more. I gave you a clue for you to go look and do your homework.
Yeah.
That will tell you when I said the NWO is here and it's been here for years. Go do your homework. It's not my job to do it.
Well, the biggest problem is people still are not doing the proper research. They're looking at the face of stuff. They see, I see this happening. It's bullshit.
The symptom. They're
That's
seeing
great.
the
That's
symptom.
great. It's great that you see it. Once you see it, you have to start getting and digging up the background. You need to get names. You need to get dates, times, everything. You need to document. Well, these people, this group came and set up with this group, and then they did this, and that's what they did. You have to be able to document it, because if they ever come after you, my mistake in the past when I first had it, it was when the first shit came down, was, I started researching all the stuff in the back, but I didn't have the proper documentation in the right places. A lot of times when I document something, I see it's real important, I say, Bill, save this also. Put this, print this out, put it in your drawer, whatever you got to do. Save this also, because this is probably going to be important sometime. If we ever need it, it's not just me. So if something happens to me or whatever, that anything comes and destroys whatever information I have, there's more somewhere else.
That's it.
And I give it to other people. Because you have to have that proper documentation. You have to be able to the who, what, where, when, why, and how.
And
Not-
look for
Because
money.
you can't just see, okay, what happened. Okay, that's great. You got what covered. But what, when, what, where, what, why, and how. You have to, how was it done? Who did it? The whole package.
You need to know.
Because you're
who
the
done
crisis
it,
actors.
if
The
that
crisis
person,
actors put on a false flag. If you think the stupid crisis actors they parade in front of us are the ones that put on a false flag, you might be stupid.
You
Yeah,
just
you
might
might be a
be
reject.
stupid.
Yeah.
Or you might, okay, I'll use Jeff Foxworthy. If you think that, you might be a redneck.
You might be
And if you
red.
think it's just the police or the fire departments or your EMTs that put out these false flags, you might be stupid.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it.
Because you have to follow who paid this guy to do this, and okay, this guy paid this guy. Well, how did this guy get involved? Is he
Oh
getting
man, I'm
paid by
getting extra
somebody
high
else?
Yeah.
off of that.
Yeah,
And
and
you
what's
need
his
to-
motive?
Yep.
You know, where did they come from?
Off
You
the Eldar
need to
waves
track
they're
all
shooting
that
at me
stuff
through the
down
window
if you
right
wanna
now.
understand where it originated
Oh
from,
man,
the
making me
source,
extra
the
dizzy.
root cause. Because
And you know
that
what?
is where it comes from.
And people need to do out there need to do that even in their own lives to make sure that wait, is there a potential that I somehow got involved in chaos or not? They need to start looking back in their life. They need to look deep into their life and go, when I was a child, are there missing time that I don't remember? Is there places that seemed like it was weird for me to have been in? Was I born in a military hospital? Because that's one sign. If you see all these badges, all these different people that are shills and stuff like that. So often do we find that they were born in military hospitals? Because we know that's where they were doing MK programs. If you were born in some kind of institution or military hospital, you're much more highly likely to have put into one of these programs than, let's say, somebody that just went down the street, their mom and pop when you were being born and ran down to the hospital down the road.
Yeah.
Big difference between that and being born in an institution or a military hospital.
Then you have
Good
the-
chance, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
I got a
at certain
good nap
times.
earlier.
Military hospitals. When people were born in them, they need to understand that there's a good chance that there's some MK Ultra programming and you don't realize it. And you're starting to think things and ideas.
One more
Another
week.
sign that
Bowl.
MK Ultra is
Trying to
forget the
get
idea of
bed.
whether or not
It's
aliens
not that late. It's not even 3.
the alien agenda was often used in MK Ultra program.
Yeah,
So
it's
if you have an
3:12.
overwhelming sensation that other people are aliens
Drinking
out there,
beer.
or there's some kind of alien thing and it's a really strong thing in your mind, there's one sign. Because here's the thing: is when you want to use like the trivia method or different ways of thinking to prove facts or prove things are real. Okay, you have to. Your intuition is going to say, "Hey, you know what? There's something weird in the sky. That could be alien." So now, to prove it or to make it a fact or true, you have to get more research. Now, is that thing I saw in the sky some kind of reflection off of the atmosphere that came from the ground? You got to start looking into it. Prove all these things before you can make a deduction that this is something I can tell other people is a true fact. If your neighbor across the street you think is an alien, well, you can't just say, well, they dance around and do a spin every time they come out to go get the mail, so therefore they're an alien. Well, no, that's not enough. You have to do some things.
You mean they're not a gray? They're not a reptilian?
Well, the gray. If you look at the gray alien, thing, you look at the person that basically the father of MK Ultra. The gray alien thing came from Aldous Huxley, where he draw a picture of a guy named or a gray alien called Frill or something like that, or whatever his name is. I don't remember. Or I don't even know if it's him because he drew a picture of just a big-headed gray alien. Before that, nobody even knew what a freaking gray alien was. So when the father of MK Ultra, who's involved in black magic and all this other crap, is the first person to come out with the gray alien thing, and then other people believe in this gray alien thing, I would look at it like, you know what? I'm not going along with the gray alien agenda or thinking until I actually see one.
Well,
Because that guy that basically invented MK Ultra is the one that spread the idea.
Well, can you
And I'm not
imagine
gonna
now?
trust anybody that
Can you imagine this, okay? Let's just say you're a truther. Let's say you think you're onto something and you're investigating. Now you want to bring them down. You want to bust them, right?
You can't unless you have all the documentation.
Right? And so you get in a hurry and you go down to a local cop shop or a local whatever, and you go turn this information in, right? Now, while you're there, maybe you'll bring up, well, look, I've seen a reptilian. Okay? You know what you just done to yourself? You just discredited yourself completely.
Not only that, is you give them a reason to go to a judge and say, we need to lock this person up because they believe that there's reptilians all over the place.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Even if those people out there believe that there's aliens all over the place, or magic people, or, night sky people, or whatever,
Right.
you cannot say it, because that will instantly not only discredit you, it will give them ammunition to legally pursue locking you up.
You got that.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
I see personally, I don't believe anything until I really see it.
Everybody.
So I'm not going to say that it's something or not something until I have the evidence. I don't have the evidence, so I'm not going to make a judgment call.
That's like saying
MK
I know there's
Ultra.
Bigfoot because he's my neighbor. Okay?
All night,
Unless I
all
see
the
it
time.
myself, you know how many stuff I've seen online and all over the place, even on the brainwashing box, Bigfoot, Bigfoot, Bigfoot.
Mhm.
But unless I see it physically,
Wake and
I'm not
bake,
going to believe that because there's
bros.
so much lying going on, propaganda going on. But if you
Fire
discredit
in the
yourself, I mean, let's
holes.
use something real that we don't know is real. You can't prove it's real, but we'll say real. What would that be? Religion. Why am I saying that? Because I want to give you an example. Okay? So, you got some information on somebody down the road who killed somebody, and you know who done it. You go on down to your local cop shop, okay? And you say, look, I got this information that proves this guy killed this person over here. Well, where'd you get your information? Well, Jesus gave it to me. It's
Good
over.
one, Bill. Good
It's
one.
over.
It's
Now,
over.
and then you
That
go,
was a
look, I go to
fucking
church
good one, Bill.
every Sunday and every Wednesday, and I am a true Christian, and I blah, 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 and Jesus gave this to me. It's over.
So, well, I mean, here's the thing, and it's just like anything else, even with religion. You have to have the documentation to back it up. It's fine. I believe it's fine for anybody to believe in what they want, and everybody to share it with what they want. But when we're trying to, reveal that these false flags or any of these other things are going on, we're not going anywhere when people start screaming aliens or Jesus, because there's too many people in this country that believe one way or the other. When you're researching things and trying to not dictate, but relay the information or the relay truth, it has to be based on fact-based evidence.
Yes.
Okay, and that part sucks. Here's the thing: is if you want to start talking about, aliens or flying magic Jesus on a dragon, that's fine. But you also have to do it in a way that people understand that that's just entertainment. Because, when we have to present things to the public, okay, entertainment is fine. But when it comes to facts, it has to be able to be translated. These are facts. This is evidence.
Or you can have your belief. You
or a
believe
belief
in
in something else.
You believe in your faith in Christianity or Jehovah or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Okay? You have a right to your belief. But when it comes to this situation, your belief is your belief. You can't walk into the local cop shop, and tell them, I know who killed blah, blah, blah because Jesus told me. Because I don't care if you believe in him or not. You just turned yourself into a nut job.
Well, no, and that is look at all these, people they set up. Well, maybe there's been more passages in recent years than we thought. But, even like the Uber shooter who said Satan spoke to him through the Eastern Star on his Uber app. Okay. So when you start, in the court of public opinion, as soon as you start talking about Satan and or Jesus, they all instantaneously say, "Yeah, he's legally crazy. Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah, or she's crazy."
And I know
And
some
this
of
is,
you
you
might
know,
flip out on that because you get in the courtroom and they tell you, place your hand on this book, swear on this book that God's name you will. Okay.
well, I
There
mean,
you
David
are.
Koresh, he had a Bible with him all the time. You see how well that worked out for him.
Yeah. Worked out really well, didn't it?
Worked out real well. Yeah, it worked out great.
So you might want to really think hard before you do stuff because we're not trying to get down on anybody, but
No.
Jerry's right.
Well, it's not. They shouldn't stop. People shouldn't stop going out there and trying to reveal the truth because it's very important. What they need to be aware of is what's actually happening behind the scenes around them, because you think, you know, you're looking at something, and you don't realize that these people that are involved in this stuff have a lot more going on than you think, and they're not as stupid as you think.
You could
They
play
are
somebody
very
down.
intelligent people that are behind this stuff, and and me and Bill see it. It's looking like they're trying to set people up, and it's looking like they're leading people down a certain road.
What I see.
And you want to know what is? I'm not, I'm not going to get caught in it. I'm going to do what I can to make sure Bill don't get caught.
I'm only going to tell you this. I see history replaying itself again.
Mm-hmm.
And I see an area of history that has replayed itself over and over, happening right now in my face. And I see a bunch of people that don't even see it.
And that's the thing is, some people might be out there. Well, you need to tell everybody, who's the Shields of here that came here and that. No, because part of what we're doing, we can't. And number one, it's your fault for not paying attention. It's your fault for not doing enough research. So if you get tied into them, me and Bill can't feel guilty. Me and Bill did our research. We spend more time than you can even imagine researching things. Just because we don't put it all out there in front of everybody doesn't mean that we're not doing it. But you need to understand there's a lot more going on behind what you see. A lot. Yeah. And the way we're doing things, we have to let some of these people, and even me telling them that we have to let them still keep on doing what they're doing, because they were stupid enough in the way they do things, they're still going to reveal themselves even more by doing it.
Yeah, well, there's nothing we can do about that because you've got.
The way I look at it, Bill. Yeah. That way I look at it about Bill is, I think we feel better now that by natural law, we warn people. Okay, we see that there's some imminent danger out there with some things that are going on, and when there's danger, you're supposed to warn people. We warn people that there could be a lot more going on, and there are more infiltrators than you think, and they need to watch their back. They need to document. Please document everything.
Yes.
Please go out there and get names, research it to death. Just get the information and document it. Then make documents and give those documentation to people you trust, whatever. Please, I implore you to document and back up the things you're saying. Even if you don't, tell the whole public on videos or whatever you do, please document this stuff, because these other people out there have an agenda and a plan. They keep quiet about it, and then they're going to come behind your back and fuck you.
Well, let's just go this way. Everything Jerry just said is right, spot on. You need to document. If you are worried about the tool, take the hike.
Oh, you already fought if you're worried.
Because if you're worried about making that tool doing this, you've already set yourself up, and you could very well easily become a patsy.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have opened the door to allow yourself to become, because you're worried about making that tool. Because the
Eh,
biggest trouble I see in today's society, with so many people are speaking up, is they're here for fake fame or the tool.
Hey, let me tell you something. Some of the most dangerous part of the tool, where you see people that may not be asking for donations. We see the way that grants are coming through that are involved with all kinds of different activities of these people and false flags and stuff like that. If you're getting good money from grants or something in the back end, there's even a worse agenda planned for you.
It sure is.
So you need to really be concerned about what's going around you. If you're receiving money in the back end, or grants or whatever from people
you might
that
very
you
well,
don't
yeah.
aren't letting them. Yeah, but some of these people may actually be receiving it and know what they're doing. There are those people out there that know their shills and are just still doing it.
Yeah.
But there are people. People out there that are you don't realize they've been manipulated into something they don't fully understand because they didn't research it enough and haven't got the documentation enough. And those people are the ones I'm concerned about.
Well, them are the ones I call. Yeah, them are the ones that I want to say sucker.
Well, I know you want to say it, but we have to.
I know.
I mean, it's tough. Trust me.
But see, what the difference is this: the ones that Jerry talked about that are, they know they're a shill. They're making a lot of the tool. See, these people, they don't care.
They don't care. They just don't have.
They have no care, no conscience, no whatever, no morals, no nothing. They don't care. They're the ones looking at you. If they're paying you some of that grant money to do something, and they're going, sucker, behind your back.
Oh, they are big time saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, because see, they don't care. You care. You think you're doing the right thing, and you're working for them. But when they're through using you,
throw you in trash.
Sucker's the word, because you'll be thrown to the curb, under the bus. You might even be arrested, used to get new law put in place to take more rights away from you, to shut you up.
Yeah. But you can save yourself by doing the research, by understanding, looking further into it. Whatever the situation is, you can catch what they're doing. They're not. They don't hide that well. These people. What they're doing is pretty easy to tell, and you just have to start to learn.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed is, and this is one thing that I've seen a lot of people do throughout my life, and it used to really piss me off, and it still does. Okay, don't get me wrong, it still does. That's when you think you're so smart, you're so intelligent and so smart that, see, that'd be like me saying to myself, I know I'm so smart and I'm so intelligent, I can do this and this, and Jerry, well, he's just a dumb idiot, and I can use him, okay? Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is if I play Jerry for an idiot, Jerry's not an idiot. You know who the idiot is? Me. And I see this going on all the time, okay, all the time. Some of you so-called truthers or eagles are so inflated that you don't use the brain that's in your head, and you think that you're so smarter than somebody else. Meanwhile, they sit back and zip their mouth and watch you, and they see and know what you're doing, and the real sucker is you.
Well, that's where I got into it, and trust me, it took me a lot of convincing Bills. I said, we need to work like they work, where they sit back, watch, and they do things very intelligently. And because we have to copy them a little bit, because listen, me or Bill are not geniuses. We're
No.
just a couple guys.
I
We're just
have
couple
a thing.
guys.
I have a thing about when I have too much evidence on something.
Yeah.
I want to say, and it gets a big, especially they hit a nerve.
Oh yeah, Bill wants to always blast it right
Okay.
out.
If they hit a nerve,
He's like, Bill,
and I have this stuff to say, look at this, look at this, look at this, you piece of shit, okay? And I want to go after you, and I want to put my hands around your neck, and I want to choke you out, okay? And Jerry has to say, no, Bill. No, Bill. Back off, Bill.
Well, because there's two reasons why. One, because maybe that's the stupid part of me, is because I do care about some of these people, even though they may have been manipulated or whatever. I also understand that somebody's been MK Ultras from birth or something like that. It's not necessarily their fault. Okay, and I do feel bad, but we're also getting to the point where we can't just stop something from happening to those people, because this is a war. We want to take these people down, and you can bet your ass that if other people out there don't do the documentation, that we're secretly behind them and already have the documentation done.
Yes.
Because we'll move in like that and make sure that all sides are clean. If we can't clean some side, that means the sides are working together.
Well, with that being said, just remember, be careful. History Apaches, pay attention. Pay attention to your history.
History repeats itself.
History replays itself, and that's exactly what's going on right now. With that being said, to the next one.
That being said, good night. Ciao. Goodbye for now. Time together puts me on the cloud. My, oh my, I can't come down. Oh wow. Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.